I just leave. I go home. I go home to my life, and I take care of my cat and do all the stuff I'm supposed to.
What if one sharp comment on live TV could bring down a daytime empire? Imagine Whoopi Goldberg, the unshakable queen of The View, suddenly vanishing. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. Whispers say she's fled the country, chased by a staggering $800 million lawsuit from Karoline Leavitt, the youngest White House press secretary ever. This isn't just a celebrity spat, it's a full-blown media reckoning that's got TikTok,
X, and every gossip blog buzzing. Did Whoopi really run from the heat? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Buckle up, because we're diving into a saga so wild it's rewriting the rules of TV drama.
Let's peel back the layers moment by moment and uncover what's really going on. It all started on a crisp morning at The View's brightly lit studio. The audience was buzzing, the cameras were rolling, and Karoline Leavitt, just 27, strode onto the set with a confidence that screamed she was ready for battle. Her navy blazer was sharp, her ponytail flawless, and her eyes locked on the hosts like a hawk. Leavitt, a rising conservative star, knew she was walking into a lion's den. The View isn't exactly known for rolling out the welcome mat for her kind, but she wasn't fazed. The hosts, though, had a plan. Joy Behar kicked things off with a smirk, tossing out a line about how someone barely old enough to vote could possibly handle a job as big as White House press secretary. The audience chuckled, but Leavitt didn't flinch. Then Sunny Hostin leaned forward, her arms crossed, and dropped a pointed remark about privilege, hinting that Leavitt's rise was less about hard work and more about who she knew. The crowd murmured, sensing the tension. But it was Whoopi Goldberg who brought the real heat. With a slow, deliberate lean and that trademark sly grin, she delivered a zinger that echoed across the studio. "Honey, you're not here because of your resume. You're here because of right-wing politics." The audience erupted in laughter, the co-hosts exchanged smug glances, and the cameras zoomed in on Leavitt's face, waiting for a meltdown. But Karoline? She just nodded, her expression calm as a summer lake. No outburst, no viral clapback, just a quiet, steely resolve. What no one in that studio realized was that her silence wasn't surrender. It was the calm before a storm that would shake The View to its core. Days later, the internet lit up with a headline that stopped everyone in their tracks. Karoline Leavitt was suing The View for a jaw-dropping $800 million. Yeah, you read that right, $800 million. The claim was defamation, pure and simple. Leavitt's legal team didn't mince words. They said the host hadn't just debated her, they'd orchestrated a public takedown, painting her as a fraud in front of millions of viewers. The lawsuit wasn't some flimsy publicity stunt either. It came with a 100-page document packed with receipts, transcripts, timestamps, even supposed leaked emails from ABC producers. One alleged memo reportedly read, "Joy opens with a youth jab, Sunny pivots to privilege, Whoopi lands the ideological blow." Another claimed producers had scripted the segment to rattle Leavitt and make her look unprepared. Social. Media went into overdrive. TikTok creators dissected the lawsuit line by line, with one video racking up 2 million views for its dramatic reading of the filing. X posts called it the legal equivalent of a mic drop, while others dubbed Leavitt the Gen Z Avenger. Legal analysts jumped in too. A CNN commentator called the case a wake-up call for talk shows, while a Fox News anchor said it could rewrite the rules of media accountability. The chatter wasn't just hype. There was substance. Leavitt's team had evidence, and they weren't playing. But what really sent shockwaves was what was happening behind closed doors at ABC, and let's just say, it wasn't a pretty picture. While the lawsuit news spread like a wildfire in a dry forest, something strange was unfolding at The View. Whoopi Goldberg, the show's anchor for over a decade, was nowhere to be found. No dramatic monologue, no final sip from her iconic mug, no tearful farewell at the host's table. Just gone. ABC issued a vague statement calling it a wellness break, but the timing raised eyebrows. This wasn't a planned vacation. It was too sudden, too convenient. Whispers started swirling, and they were juicy. Some said Whoopi had boarded a private jet out of JFK, headed for a Mediterranean villa owned by a Hollywood power couple. Others claimed she was holed up on a private Caribbean island, far from the reach of court summons. One unconfirmed X post even suggested she'd been spotted in Florence, Italy, sipping espresso under an alias. The rumors got wilder by the hour. A TikTok creator with 1 million followers posted a video stitching clips of Whoopi's on-air smirk with a jet engine, roaring, captioned, "When you throw shade but can't handle the legal fade." Another meme showed Whoopi clutching a passport while Leavitt held a gavel with the text, "From hot seat to hot escape." ABC tried to tamp down the speculation, but their PR team was drowning. Insiders leaked that Whoopi had left just days after a court ordered her to testify in the lawsuit. Legal commentators were blunt. "You don't skip town before a deposition unless you're worried about what's coming," one said on MSNBC. The question on everyone's mind was simple but explosive. Was Whoopi really fleeing justice? Or was this just a dramatic pause in a career full of them? Inside ABC, the mood was pure pandemonium. Producers were reportedly in crisis mode, with some whispering about shredded documents and deleted emails. Advertisers, smelling trouble, started pausing deals, and some big-name sponsors pulled out entirely, citing reputational risks. One insider claimed the network's PR team was screaming into pillows during emergency meetings. The hosts weren't faring much better. Joy Behar tried to play it cool on air, dismissing the lawsuit as another conservative tantrum. But her usual snark felt forced, and viewers noticed. Sunny Hostin, the show's legal expert, doubled down, saying the case would crash and burn in court. Yet behind the scenes, sources said she was rattled. How had the lawyer on set missed the red flags? Tensions were spiking among the co-hosts, too. Leaked reports suggested Joy was furious, feeling like ABC had hung her out to dry. One staffer claimed she overheard Joy snap at a producer, "If Whoopi's gone, don't expect me to clean up this mess." Whoopi herself had been acting off before her disappearance. Insiders said she'd been showing up late to tapings, her mood swinging between defensive and downright agitated. One junior producer recalled a moment when Whoopi muttered backstage, "I didn't sign up for a legal circus." The show's usual polish was cracking, and the audience could sense it. Clips of awkward on-air moments started circulating online, with ex-users pointing out the hosts' strained smiles and forced laughter. The View, once a daytime juggernaut, was starting to look like a ship taking on water. But the real storm was brewing elsewhere, on the internet, where Karoline Leavitt was quietly stealing the show. While The View floundered, Karoline Leavitt was rising like a phoenix. She didn't need to shout or post fiery tweets to make her mark. In court, she walked in with a navy blazer, a neat ponytail, and a binder stuffed with evidence that could sink a network. No entourage, no theatrics, just pure, calculated focus. Legal analysts were stunned by her composure. A Fox News anchor called her a quiet storm tearing through the media landscape, while even MSNBC admitted she was playing a long game with surgical precision. Her testimony was a masterclass in restraint. When asked about the View segment, she didn't rant or cry. She laid out facts, pointing to timestamps and producer notes that suggested a scripted attack. Social media ate it up. Hashtags like Karoline fights back and media reckoning trended on X for days. TikTok was flooded with videos praising her poise. One captioned, "She brought receipts and left The View speechless." Another clip, with 3 million views, showed Leavitt's calm courtroom demeanor split-screened with Whoopi's empty chair on The View. Even skeptics who dismissed her as just another political talking head were forced to rethink. A prominent journalist tweeted, "I underestimated Karoline Leavitt. She's not here for sound bites, she's here for history." Leavitt wasn't just fighting a lawsuit, she was building a movement, one that had conservatives, moderates, and even some liberals nodding in approval. Her strategy was clear. Let the evidence speak, let the internet amplify, and let The View implode on its own. The internet, meanwhile, was a full-on feeding frenzy. X became a battleground of opinions, with users split between Team Whoopi and Team Karoline. Conservative accounts blasted Whoopi, posting memes of her fleeing with captions like, from shade queen to escape artist. One viral image showed Whoopi on a tarmac, photoshopped with a suitcase, while Leavitt stood in a courtroom with a gavel. Liberal users pushed back, arguing Whoopi was just taking a break from a witch hunt. But the tide was turning. Neutral. Voices, think podcasters, morning show hosts, and even some left-leaning commentators, started raising tough questions. If there's nothing to hide, why's Whoopi MIA? One radio host asked. TikTok was relentless, with creators stitching clips of Whoopi's on-air jabs with courtroom sketches of Leavitt. One video, with 5 million views, showed Whoopi laughing at Leavitt, followed by text, "Laugh now, fly later." Another creator posted a dramatic reenactment of the View segment, complete with a fake producer's email planning the takedown. The hashtags Zobri, where is Whoopi, and View on trial racked up billions of views. Even Reddit got in on the action, with threads speculating about Whoopi's whereabouts. Some said she was in Italy, others swore she was on a yacht in the Bahamas. The court of public opinion was in full swing, and The View was losing ground, fast. One ex-user summed it up: the show that used to hold people accountable can't even keep its hosts in the country. As the online frenzy grew, The View was crumbling in slow motion. Leaked memos painted a grim picture. One, allegedly from a senior ABC exec, read, "We're hemorrhaging trust, viewership, and credibility. Prepare for the possibility of cancellation." Ouch. Advertisers were jumping ship, with major brands like Procter & Gamble and Unilever reportedly pausing multi-million-dollar deals. Some companies pulled ads from ABC's entire daytime lineup, not wanting to touch the scandal with a 10-foot pole. Inside the studio, morale was at an all-time low. Crew members whispered about producers auditioning backup hosts, with names like Rosie O'Donnell and Meghan McCain floating around. Joy Behar was reportedly livid, telling execs she felt thrown under the bus. Sources claimed she was ready to walk, tired of carrying the show through the chaos. Sunny Hostin wasn't faring much better. Her legal background was supposed to be an asset, but headlines were brutal. How did The View's lawyer not see this lawsuit coming? One ex-post put it bluntly. Sunny's law degree didn't prepare her for Karoline's legal ninja moves. Ratings were tanking too. Once a daytime powerhouse, The View was losing viewers to reruns of The Price is Right. The show's legacy, built over decades, was starting to feel like a house of cards. And Whoopi? Her absence was the final nail. Even if she returned, those 2 words, defamation lawsuit, would haunt her forever. The question wasn't just about her comeback, it was whether The View could survive at all. But this saga isn't just about one show or one lawsuit. It's about something bigger, a shift in how we hold media accountable. Karoline Leavitt didn't just file a case. She sparked a conversation about what happens when TV crosses a line. Her lawsuit, whether it wins or loses, has already made waves. Legal experts say it could set a precedent, making talk shows think twice before staging gotcha moments. Social media has amplified her cause, turning a single TV segment into a cultural flashpoint. Ex-posts are calling her the woman who took on a media giant and won. TikTok creators are hailing her as a symbol of standing up to power. Even neutral commentators who usually steer clear of political fights are weighing in. One NPR host said, "Leavitt's case isn't about politics, it's about fairness." The implications are huge. If Leavitt's lawsuit succeeds, it could open the floodgates for others to challenge media bullying. If it fails, it still sends a message. The public's watching, and they're not afraid to call out hypocrisy. For The View, the damage is done. The show's once untouchable status is gone, replaced by a cloud of doubt. And for Whoopi, her legacy as a trailblazer is now tangled with questions of accountability. This isn't just a legal battle, it's a turning point for how we talk about truth, power, and responsibility in media. Let's bring this home with a hard truth. This drama isn't just about Whoopi Goldberg or Karoline Leavitt. It's about what happens when a single moment on TV spirals into a cultural earthquake. Whoopi went from daytime royalty to a question mark, her absence fueling rumors of private jets and secret hideouts. Karoline Leavitt, underestimated by everyone, turned a sharp jab into a legal juggernaut, proving you don't need to yell to be heard. The View, once a beacon of bold talk, is now fighting for its life, with advertisers fleeing and ratings sinking. The internet has taken over, with X, TikTok, and every corner of social media deciding who's right and who's wrong. So, what's your take? Did Whoopi really flee the country to dodge the heat, or is this all a massive overreaction? Should The View be canceled, or can it claw its way back? And is Karoline Leavitt the unexpected hero of this saga, or just a savvy player in a bigger game? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one. If this story's got you hooked, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more explosive breakdowns the mainstream won't touch. This storm isn't over yet, and trust me, the next chapter's going to be even wilder.